What if I told you you can replace Notion, Miro, and project management tools like Trello with just one open source tool? You're probably paying for Notion, Miro, and Trello right now. Three separate tools, three separate bills, three different places your team has to check every single day. There is one open source tool that replaces all of them. And by the end of this video, completely free of per user fees in under 10 minutes. It's called AFFiNE. And the way we are deploying it today makes it easier than anything you have ever tried before. Let me show you. This is AFFiNE. On the surface, it looks like a really clean doc editor, but this is where it gets interesting. One click and you are on an infinite whiteboard. Draw, sketch, add sticky notes, map out ideas visually, all inside the same app. And this is the database view. Kanban boards, tables, grid layouts, whatever works for how your brain thinks. Same tool, same workspace, nothing separate, nothing to switch between. And because AFFiNE is fully open source, you don't have to use their cloud. You can run the whole thing yourself, which means no per seat pricing ever. That's exactly what we are setting up today. But first, really quickly, why does self-hosting actually matter? Most tools charge you per person. 5 people on your team, then you're paying for 5 seats. 10 people on your team, then you're paying for 10 seats. It compounds fast and you actually feel it. When you self-host AFFiNE, that model disappears completely. You pay $30 for your server and that's the whole bill. Doesn't matter if it's 5 people or 50 people. And your data sits on your own setup, not on someone else's platform, not subject to their pricing changes or their terms being updated. You own it. The only reason more people don't do this is because setting it up used to be genuinely painful. Running your own server, managing databases, configuring everything manually. Most people try it once, hit a wall, and go back to paying for SaaS. Kuberns is exactly what fixes that. Kuberns is an AI agentic deployment platform that takes everything complicated about self-hosting and just handles it for you. The database, the infrastructure, the SSL certificate, the networking, all of it sorted automatically by the platform. You don't touch a terminal, you don't write a single config file. And this is not a simplified watered down version either. What Kuberns deploy is a proper production ready setup. This is the dashboard. Everything you need is in one place. Clean, simple, and easy to use. And deploying AFFiNE from here takes about as long as watching this video for the next 2 minutes. I'm starting on the AFFiNE template page on Kuberns. You can get here directly from the link in the description. This page tells you exactly what's getting deployed. AFFiNE, a PostgreSQL database, and Redis for caching. The full stack pre-configured. If you don't have a Kuberns account, it will ask you to create one here. You can sign up using GitHub or Google. I already have an account, so I'll click on new project. If you are new, then the onboarding process will just take a minute. Now I'm going to give my project a name and click on create project. Now I'm going to select open source templates. Now I just have to select AFFiNE in this list and click continue. Now here is the part that surprises everyone the first time they see it. This is the entire setup screen. Project name and your region. That's it. No database strings to figure out, no environment variables, no Redis configuration. Kuberns AI reads what AFFiNE needs and configures the whole environment automatically. Name your project, pick the region closest to your team and hit deploy. Watch this. It's provisioning the database, setting up Redis, configuring the network, enabling HTTPS, every single layer of the stack handled automatically. And we are done. You will be redirected to Kuberns dashboard and now you can click on visit beside deployed URL and that's your AFFiNE instance. HTTPS already on, no certificate setup, no reverse proxy. There is nothing to configure. You just click the link and you are in. Now let's get your team set up inside it. First thing, you will see the account creation screen. This is your admin login, the master account for the whole workspace. Fill that in and hit continue. Now you can add other users directly from here just by giving their name, email and password, and you can assign them a role and they can be added. Let me show you the 3 things your team is actually going to use every single day. This is the doc editor. It feels immediately familiar. Clean block based writing, great for specs, notes, wikis, anything text based. This is the whiteboard. Infinite canvas. You can draw, add sticky notes, map out a product flow, run a brainstorm session. It's genuinely useful, of the best open source whiteboards out there. And this is the database. Switch between Kanban, table or grid depending on what you're tracking. Tasks, content calendars, project pipelines, it all works here. The fact that all three live in the same workspace is the whole point. Your team stops jumping between apps. If you're still watching, the next part is actually the bit most people miss. Because deploying is easy. What makes this setup last is how Kuberns manages everything after launch. Once AFFiNE is deployed, this is your home going forward. And honestly, it's one of the most underrated parts of using Kuberns. Right here on the dashboard, you can see your RAM usage, your storage consumption, active database connections, and your recent activity logs. Everything about the health of your workspace in just one screen. You don't need a separate monitoring tool. You don't need to SSH into anything. It's all just there. And here is the thing most people don't think about when they first set this up. Self-hosting something like AFFiNE manually means you're also responsible for keeping it running. When AFFiNE releases a new version, that's on you to update. When your SSL certificate expires, that's on you to renew. When your database needs attention, that's on you to handle. On Kuberns, none of that lands on your plate. The infrastructure is monitored automatically. The platform manages the runtime, so your workspace stays stable, whether 2 people are using it or 20. So you get all the benefits of running your own setup without it quietly becoming a part-time job. So that's the full setup. One tool that replaces 3, no per user fees, your data on your own infrastructure, and the whole thing live in under 10 minutes through Kuberns. The setup link is in description. If you have been putting off self-hosting anything because it's too complicated, this is the easiest way to start. Drop any questions in the comments. I read them and I will help you get it sorted. Hope this video is helpful. Drop a like, do subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.